It has been a big week for Bitmine and Sharplink holders. In this video, I'll be covering all the news you need to know on BMNR, SBET, and Ethereum Treasury companies overall, so let's get right to it. Ethereum hit all-time highs after Jerome Powell was more dovish than expected during his speech at Jackson Hole. I literally couldn't stop watching the Ethereum price as it shot up over 13%. It felt almost suspiciously quick, as if there's like a lot of money waiting to buy Ethereum as soon as lower rates and a risk-on environment are confirmed. Tom Lee tweeted that this ETH breakout is the start of a far larger upward move, and how the larger the base, the bigger the breakout. And if that's really the case, who knows how high ETH could go? It's been trading sideways for quite some time now. Tom Lee went on the Compound podcast and he talked about how BMNR could potentially pay a cash dividend one day with its ETH staking yield.
Ethereum pays a 3% native yield if you stake it. So the 6.6 billion held of Ethereum is over $200 million in net income right now. The day we turn on staking, not only is there no debt on Bitminer, it's going to pay you $200 million a year in dividends.
And what do you do with that? Buy more Ether?
Or we might just pay it out as cash dividends.
Where does that 3% native yield come from? Is that gas fees that users are paying to use ETH?
Well, it's called proof of stake. So Ethereum doesn't have a proof of work model where you're competing for a block reward. It's saying if you hold ETH and you agree to stake it and validate transactions, you earn the staking fee, which is 3%.
Okay. So that's where that's coming from.
Yeah. And then there's a power law force at work that if we get to 5% of Ethereum, we become a really benevolent staking entity. That's why we want to get to 5%.
Definitely an interesting thought, and staking is definitely a huge reason that I like ETH as a treasury asset. Although I guess this staking dividend could mean a slight less premium on the BMNR price to its NAV. BMNR is now the 10th most traded stock on the market. Look at the names on this list. It's getting pretty obvious that the Ethereum story is definitely starting to gain some traction. And in my opinion, it still feels pretty early, especially given that Ethereum just broke all-time highs after lagging Bitcoin for years. Moving on to SBET. SBET authorized the $1.5 billion stock buyback program, stating, "Should there exist periods where our stock trades at or below the net asset value of our ETH holdings, it would be dilutive on an ETH per share basis to issue new equity through our capital raising efforts. In this scenario, the accretive course of action may be to repurchase our common stock. This program provides us with the flexibility to act quickly and decisively if those conditions present themselves." Definitely some good news to boost confidence that the company really is dedicated to driving shareholder value, especially given the fact that SBET's stock performance has been lacking compared to BMNR recently. I can't count how many posts I've seen on X crying about the SBET price, but maybe SBET holders don't have it as bad as ETHZilla holders. The stock is down 30% on dilution fears after announcing a 74.8 million share offering. After the issuance of new shares, the outstanding shares of the company will rise by about 46% to 239.3 million from 164.4 million. It definitely is some heavy dilution, but that's the name of the game. And in the long run, I still think that if ETH does well, so will ETHZilla. It's also backed by Peter Thiel, and he's honestly a huge reason that I'm interested in ETH treasury companies. Alright guys, that's pretty much it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one with more ETH treasury news.